Coming up on Backyard Science, finding out which side your toast is buttered on.
Up and away with some paper planes that really take off.
And why getting in too deep can be a good thing. How to build a leaning tower of pasta.
How to fool your friends with a drinking straw that doesn't suck.
And race time. Find out how gears can give your bicycle the winning edge.
But first, we're going to do a little backyard science bird watching.
All you need is some binoculars, a little bit of patience, and some birds.
Yep, but if those birds don't show up, you just might need to get a bit creative.
We've got so many different birds in our backyard, but they never stay still long enough for me to find out what they are. So I'm going to make a seed table to attract lots of feathered friends. I'm going to build a little tower to rest my seed dish on, so they don't get scared away. I know it sounds crazy, but my idea is to use spaghetti for the structure and marshmallows to stick it all together. Perfect timing! I'm going to get Ben in on this little project. He can help me work out the best design for my spaghetti tower. Most tall buildings look like they're sort of square, but some are made from triangles. Okay, let's go. And hey, they're for building, not eating. I'm going to try for a triangular tower, and Ben is going to try a square. If we start with lots of spaghetti at the bottom, it should hold up the top.
Exactly, and that's a design concept crucial to building any good structure. And that's what the architects came up with when they designed the Empire State Building. Back in 1931, it was the tallest building in the world, and it certainly stood the test of time. Today it's been outbuilt, making it the 8th tallest building in the world, but perhaps still the most famous.
Snack time for Liam, James and me. I think we need some food. Very funny. Those jokers have finished my drink. Right, I'll fix them. Hammer a hole into the top of a jar lid. Push a straw through as snugly as possible. Next, squash a ball of plasticine around the straw on the underside of the lid. Yep, that looks good. Now, it's payback time for my friendly practical jokers. Let's see what they do. Yep, they're up to their old tricks again, but this time I've got them. Aha, suckers! Drinking from that straw is totally impossible.
When you suck through a straw, it's not actually you pulling the liquid up, it's air pressure. The sucking action removes the air in the straw, creating a vacuum. The air pressure outside the straw becomes greater than the air pressure inside the straw. This pushes the liquid up the straw and into your mouth.
Okay, now time for that drink. The FA Cup final and Beckham is lining up the shot. He shoots, he wins! He might have won, but we'll both be losers if this storm catches us. It's close.
You can tell how close by counting. Light travels much faster than sound, so we see the flash straight away, but sound only travels at about 300 meters a second.
1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. 3 seconds. That's 3 times 300 meters. It's less than a kilometer away. When the lightning and thunder happen at the same time, it's right on top of you. So what are you going to do? Climb a tall tree? No. Lightning strikes the tallest thing around. Why are you hiding there in the cave? That's not right either. Lightning can travel into caves. Why is he hugging me? Don't get too close. Nope, not a good idea. Lightning can travel through bodies. Well, what can you do? The best thing to do in an open area is crouch down by yourself in the lowest spot you can find. That way something higher will get struck by lightning first.
Lightning happens when the difference in the electric charges between the cloud and the ground reaches millions of volts. A lightning flash lasts for only a tiny fraction of a second. But in that time, the air is heated to about 3 times the temperature of the sun's surface. That makes the air expand for just an instant before it crashes back. That makes a sound wave that we hear as a huge clap of thunder. Ooh, if I thought there was a thunderstorm on the way, I'd be heading for the nearest building.
Good idea, Dana, but I'm not sure I'd be sheltering in Genevieve and Ben's shaky old structure.
This building assignment is fun, but I think we've gone as high as we can with our towers. Let's see who's built the tallest one. Drum roll, please. And the winner is Ben the Builder. But now for the big test. Will it support the seed dish? Looks like I'm not a very good master builder. Ben, I know this is mean, but your tower's got to be able to withstand a backyard ball attack. Uh-oh.
Get ready, set, racing! Angelique and I are having a race-off. Now low gear and into the home straight. Oh dear, Angelique's way behind. I really like Angelique, but she's such a bad bike rider. I always end up waiting for her. I don't want to hurt her feelings, but I really think she needs to learn how to ride that thing. I'm going to give her a crash course in the finer points of changing gears. 1 is the lowest gear, for the hard stuff like hills, and 6 is for easy riding, like on flat ground.
When you ride, your legs are like the engine and the gears allow you to adjust your pedal power as you need to. When you change gears, a lever lifts the chain from one cog to another. This creates more or less pedal tension depending on the riding conditions. For example, you need less tension when the going is tough and more when you're cruising.
Well, now I reckon she'll be able to give me a run for my money. We're off! Uh-oh, she's using the gears. Wait for me, Angelique! Oh man, I've created a monster!
Somehow I'm having trouble thinking of Angelique as a monster. Monsters are more like, well, the Loch Ness Monster or Monsters of the Deep.
Maybe, Jason, but even monsters of the deep need to surface for a breath once in a while.
When you've got a watery backyard and you live in a really cold part of the world, you see some amazing things in the water. Ice flows for one, but my favorite? Whales. There's one. Look, it's splattering. Must have swallowed a lungful of seawater. He doesn't know what I'm talking about. I'm sure he thinks that whale is coughing its lungs up, but I know it's not coughing. That's just its breath. I'll show him. No? I'll get a mirror. I know that whale sprang a geyser of water, not an incy-bincy cloud of fog. But that's just what we do, although on a smaller scale. Look, I'll show you.
When the warm, moist air from our lungs hits the cold mirror, our breath condenses, meaning that it goes from a gas to a liquid.
The whale's lungs are so big that when it breathes out, it lets go of a huge spout of water. I think it's having a whale of a time. I want to put the right number of candles on my dad's birthday cake, but he won't tell me how old he is. He says he's as old as a middle-aged tree, but how old are these trees? One way to find out how old trees are is to count the tree rings. One ring for each year. This tree doesn't look middle-aged, but I know a trick. This book says that slow-growing trees expand around the middle at about 2.5 centimeters a year. All I have to do is measure around the trunk of a medium-sized tree. So, if I take the distance around the middle, divide it by the amount it expands each year, then I know how old it is.
Palms and fast growers like conifers and eucalypts don't follow Daniella's rule. But it's perfect for trees that grow at a medium rate, such as oaks and elms.
I've got it! If Dad's as old as this tree, tape measure, note the distance around the tree, 64 centimetres, divided by 2.5 centimetres a year equals 25.6 years old. I'm sure my dad's older than that. Maybe I should have measured his middle-age spread instead of the trees.
Get that tape measure away from me, Jason. I'm keeping my age a secret.
Well, around my middle, I'm growing. Maybe I've been eating too much pasta. Oh, which reminds me, I wonder if Ben and Genevieve's spaghetti buildings are getting any bigger.
Okay, now it's time to get really serious about our spaghetti towers. Ben's square structure was pretty strong, but I'm going to improve my triangular tower. If I reinforce it from the bottom with another triangle inside the frame, it should be stronger.
That's exactly the right idea, and the reason is that gravity is always pulling things down towards the Earth. So, for a structure to resist gravity, it needs a sturdy support base for balance.
Time to get set up for a spot of bird watching now. I just hope they go for the bird food and not for the marshmallows instead.
Bonus, Sunday morning, no school and lots of food to eat. Not funny. Oh, great. Fluff stuck to the butter side of my toast. It's just my luck that it didn't land butter side up. Or is there more to it than just luck? Let's see. Again, it fell with the butter side down. I'm going to find out why. Okay, I've got a piece of cardboard with 2 columns drawn out. One for butter up and one for butter down. This way I can keep track of all my landings. Right, that's 1 for butter up. 1 for down. It's even for now. This is busy work. That's interesting. My toast landed butter side down 13 times, and only 7 times butter side up. Maybe the butter makes the toast heavier and pulls it face down. We'll soon find out.
I'm going to be a pilot when I grow up. But for now, I'll just have to make the planes I fly. Okay, with a few clever folds, my plane will be ready for takeoff. This paperclip will help keep it steady. Not bad. But Chani thinks she can do better. What's she doing with those scissors? I see, she's cutting 2 little flaps in the wings. Now she's folding them up. This is an impressive plane. I can't wait to see how it flies. Okay, I'm standing by for the landing. Ready, set, fly! Yes, that was fantastic.
All planes have flaps on their wings, just like the ones Shani cut out on her paper plane.
Cool. Hey, maybe we can both be pilots together.
Bombing is the best, but we always have to make sure that we're doing it in the deep end. Great idea. Priscilla is really good at diving for the ring. I actually find it hard sometimes, especially when the ring falls in the deepest end of the pool. Nope, can't get it. No, can't get down there. I know, these flippers will help. Yes, it's mine. What's wrong with my ears? They're popping. Oh, where's Priscilla going? Better find out what she's up to. What's she doing with that? She says it's a pressure bottle. Now she's filling it up with water. Can't see how that will be interesting. Wow, cool. The bottle has got 3 holes in it and the water's shooting out like a fountain. And look, the water spout at the bottom has the most force.
That's because the water at the bottom is under the highest pressure from the weight of the water pushing down above it. As the water runs out, the spurts get smaller because there is less pressure. So the deeper you swim, the more water pressure there is. That's why Lucas found it hard to push his weight down to the bottom. And it's also why his ears were hurting. The deeper you go, the more pressure there is on these sensitive organs.
Now that really has relieved the pressure.
Those guys always come through with the goods when they're under pressure. Nice stuff!
Now it's time to get back to the kitchen and see how John's falling toast is faring.
Right, more toast. I'm going to get to the bottom of this toast landing butter side down if it's the last thing I do. Now what if I only pretend to have butter on it and put a star where the butter would go? This way I can find out whether it really is the butter's fault or something else altogether. Right, I'm off again. This is very tricky because the star or pretend butter side wins hands down. That's 12 stars down and only 6 up. So even without the butter, the toast still lands the same way again. That means it's got nothing to do with the butter on the toast. Maybe the answer is up higher.
Sonam and I want to blow up the biggest balloons possible. So we need to find out what kind of air is better for the job, hot or cold. Right, time to see how our balloon measures up. There, that's 68.5 centimeters. Blown up with nice warm air from Sonam. Now inside, so we can pop our balloon in the freezer. All we have to do is wait. Time to take our balloon out. Looks a lot smaller. Okay, let's see. 46 centimeters. That's a big 22 centimeters smaller than a hot air balloon. Hang on, maybe it's just smaller because some of the air escaped. I thought of something we can do to find out. I need an empty plastic bottle. This one's half full, so drink up. Place the balloon over the top of the bottle. Now I need some warm water in a saucepan. Okay, I'm back. Drum roll! As I place the bottle in the warm water. Brilliant! The balloon is starting to blow up. Now I'm going to reverse it and see what happens. I'll fill the bottle up with warm water and let it heat up. While that's happening, I'll grab some cold water. There, that should be warm enough. Fit another balloon on, and we're set. Okay, now if I place the warm bottle in the cold water, what will happen to the balloon? Drum roll, please. Awesome! The balloon is being pulled in, and it's being blown up.
Heat causes things like air to expand and cold causes things to contract. So when the bottle was placed in the hot water, the air inside it expanded or took up more room. This made the air push out of the bottle, blowing up the balloon. When the warm bottle was placed in the cold water, the air inside it contracted or took up less room. This meant air from the outside was drawn into the bottle, pulling the balloon with it and blowing it up.
Now that's really blown me away.
Careful, Jason. You could take off with all your hot air.
Moving right along. Time now for a story that'll really grow on you.
It's amazing how good I am at mazes. In fact, I am so good I can turn this bean seed into a maze. You'll need a cardboard box, some extra bits of cardboard, paper towels, scissors, tape, a plastic jug and cup. Cut a large hole into the top of the box. This will allow the light in. Cut a window in 2 pieces of card that are the same thickness and length as the box. Fit 1 piece of the card into the box and tape it down. Take a piece of paper towel and fold it up so it fits into the cup. Next, pop in a seed. A bean seed is best. And give it a good drip. Now onto the bottom shelf of the box it goes, at the other end of the window cutout. Close it up. Make sure the box is in a sunny spot so light can shine through the top. And wait a few days. And no peeking. Wow, my seed has sprouted. Time for another drink before it's back into the box. After a few more days, the bean sprout has grown enough to turn its first corner into my plant maze. Now it's time for my sprout to climb up to the next level. I love this plant maze. Look how it's followed the path through the windows and almost out the top.
This fantastic maze works because plants need light to grow. Margot's bean sprout was placed at the opposite end of the light source, so in order to get to that light, it had to grow by bending its stem. That's why you see those amazing rainforest vines and trees pushing their way up to the sun out of a dense forest below.
A living maze! Now this is more fun than anything in the pages of a book.
That was great fun, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now, John's been hard at work in the kitchen, buttering furiously in search of the truth behind falling toast. Now it's crunch time.
Okay, my test to see why toast mostly lands butter side down continues. I've got this idea that height might have something to do with it. Sonam, you look so crazy, but at least I can reach. Slice number 1. Down you fly. 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't believe it. The toast has nearly always landed butter side up.
As the toast falls, it spins around. When it's dropped from waist height, it only has time for a half turn. So if it starts butter side up, it will land butter side down. When it's dropped from a greater height, it can make a full tumble turn, starting from butter side up, landing butter side up again.
I just hope I'm not in trouble for playing with my food.
He had a suspicion and it was right.
Yeah, good thing. Otherwise he'd have to eat his worst, not just his toast. That's all we have time for now.
See you soon.